Welcome to Jesse Watters Primetime. I'm Rachel Campos-Duffy. Now, for the last few years, America's children have faced unprecedented harm, from being forced to wear masks, being locked out of school, and brainwashed by CRT in the classroom. Our nation's most vulnerable have been through a lot. And it's all been brought to you by the people who claim to be protecting our kids.
My purpose was children. You've heard me say, you got to take a punch for the children, throw a punch for the children.
We never bought that. A party that's pro-abortion, pro-CRT, and pro-lockdown can't possibly be pro-children. But what if I told you Democrats' policies hurt children far beyond our borders? What if I told you that Joe Biden's agenda is fueling child slave labor 8,000 miles away? Let me explain. Since the day Biden took office, the Democrats have had one goal: go green. Biden shut down our pipelines and started handing out billions to his friends to build solar panels and windmills. They told us if we couldn't afford gas prices, just buy a brand new $67,000 electric car. But what they didn't tell us is how those electric cars are built. Turns out those lithium-ion batteries need cobalt, and most of the world's cobalt comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo in Africa. Who mines that cobalt? Little kids.
They're digging in trenches and laboring in lakes, hunting for treasure in a playground from hell. Hard enough for an adult man, unthinkable for a child. And yet tens of thousands of Congolese kids are involved in every stage of mining for cobalt. At barely 10 years old, children lug heavy sacks of cobalt to be washed in rivers. From as early as 4, they can pick it out of a pile, and even those too young to work spend much of the day breathing in toxic fumes.
That's where solar panels come from. That's where electric cars come from. Child slave labor. Why is nobody talking about this? This is a humanitarian crisis funded by our tax dollars. And who is running these child slave mines? China, of course. They take all that cobalt back to China to build batteries that they sell to us for a premium. Democrats are fine with slave labor if it advances big green. Now, Trump tried to do something about it. When he was president, he cut red tape so we could mine those minerals here, because we don't just use them for electric cars. We need them for military jets and precision-guided missiles. But when Biden took over, he shut it back down. It's not good for the environment, after all. He would rather have China control the supply than us. He would rather have slave labor in Africa than good-paying jobs in America. It just doesn't make sense, but it keeps the far left happy. They don't care that black children are suffering, and that seems to always be the case. Africa is always the testing ground for the left's bad ideas. They want people in starving countries to eat insects instead of beef and milk. Why? Crickets are environmentally friendly, and they're not stopping in Africa. They want bugs to be part of our diet, too.
You'll soon be eating crickets because, well, you have no choice. The problem is our species continues to grow rapidly while the size of our planet stays the same.
The whole idea behind insect farming is the planet can only produce so much grain. Then we need to turn that grain into protein. Crickets are 10 times more efficient than cattle on grain usage and over 100 times more efficient than cattle for water usage.
Do you think Biden, Pelosi, AOC, or John Kerry are going to be eating crickets? Of course not. They don't believe anything they say. If Democrats really thought the world was ending, they wouldn't be burning jet fuel flying across the globe and building mansions on the beach. It's all about pumping taxpayer dollars into companies their buddies and offspring invest in. This is a big green scam.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.